What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn all about very Norwegian objects. This is a very general kind of topic, I think, but also incredibly useful. I think she's going to go over, gosh, like historical or important Norwegian things that somehow are not common in the United States, or I'm actually really interested to see what kinds of stuff are classified as very Norwegian objects. That sounds absolutely fascinating to me, and probably a great way to learn more about Norwegian culture, to be honest. So this video really caught my attention. This seemed very fascinating as an American. What the heck kind of objects are in Norway that aren't in America, or maybe it has to do with history, or I don't know, but let's find out.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. On today's video I am going to be talking about very Norwegian objects that I know of. And this doesn't necessarily mean that they are objects that only exist in Norway.
Right.
They can exist in other countries, but for me they represent Norway, or just like they're very unique to Norway in a way. The one I'm going to start with is the cheese slicer, and I have already talked about this in a previous video.
The cheese slicer. Yeah. Is this common in Norway? I have to admit, this is not common in the United States at all. We're not like that huge on cheese, although we like cheese, but I guess the best way to put it is I've never seen that device in real life ever, like physically, so I guess it's not common here.
And a lot of you guys commented that it also exists in other countries, but I'm pretty sure that when I arrived to Norway, someone told me that this was a Scandinavian thing, like that it was invented by Norwegians. A cheese slicer really represents Norway for me because it's something that I didn't have in my own country. If you don't know this, I am Portuguese, but I moved to Oslo in 2014. So when I moved here, it was the first time I saw a cheese slicer and used one. And
yeah, I've never seen that or used it in real life.
They are really good and handy if you buy like a big piece, like a cube of cheese, of course.
Okay, yeah, that's not really something that Americans do that often. Buy big blocks of cheese.
Like gift stores here in Norway, you can even find them with like a shape of a moose or something, or like a reindeer. So I don't know, it sounds Norwegian to me. The next thing I'm going to talk about is a waffle maker, and I know there's a lot of other countries that also have a waffle maker, but
I actually like this waffle maker. It does little hearts. That's fun. Waffle maker, sure, it definitely exists in America. Not very common.
But here in Norway they have a specific pattern to them, or like the drawing that the waffle makes is a little bit different. Here, first of all, the waffles are not so like thick, if you know what I mean, and they have these drawings which are like these hearts, 4 hearts together with like the tips together. It kind of forms like a flower.
Yeah, okay. That's a difference. That's different. I've never seen the 4 hearts flower shape before.
But there are also hearts if you separate them. So yeah, I've never seen that like pattern on a waffle before.
That's
so
cool.
I guess it's Norwegian or Scandinavian. Next thing is also related to like the kitchen items, and it's a wooden butter knife. So it's these really cute small knives made of wood. They are not really sharp, and they are...
That is cool. Why does Norway have so much cool stuff? Yeah, these are all things that aren't, like, mind-blowing, but we don't have it, like a wooden butter knife. Yeah, you can't cut yourself on it, but it's enough to cut butter, and it looks cool.
Just for you to like take butter and spread it on top of bread, or for example a waffle. You can also find them in gift shops everywhere. Next thing is also a kitchen item, and I have one so I can show you, but it's basically like a wooden cup It looks very Viking, or at least medieval. I can show you.
Wooden
I think
cup.
it looks really cute. I don't know exactly.
Yeah. I've seen cups like this on the internet. I never really knew where they were from, and these do not exist in America, that's for sure. Are these actually common in Norway? What do you drink out of them? Like tea or something? They are very like small and cute, and it actually looks very cool. I love wooden craftsmanship, so that makes it really cool.
Exactly. Why do you use this? This was a gift. But it looks cute, like hanged on a cabin or something. I think it's to like when you go on a hike.
She's not even sure what you're supposed to do with this thing. Does it have a specific purpose, or is it just like a cup for whatever you want?
Or away on the weekend for like a cabin trip or something. People use these for drinking wine or
Wine.
beer.
Beer.
Or I don't know, to drink tea. I have coffee. I have no idea. If you're Norwegian and you know what kind of drink you're supposed to use this for.
Does this cup have like a special name? And does it have a special purpose?
Just comment in the comments down below because I would actually love to know. But it looks really cute. It's all made of wood. It has 2 holes so you can put your fingers in.
It's cool.
And yeah, next one is shoe spikes. And of course, I'm sure this exists in other countries, but for me, this was like super Norwegian because I have never seen one of these before. I have never used one, not even now, never needed to use one. But
I guess because there's a lot of snow in Norway, this makes a lot of sense. But I've never seen anyone ever use shoe spikes that you can put onto your shoe like that in America. Even though it seems quite useful, actually.
But I see so many people in winter when it's like ice on the floor using these, and they are basically this attachment with spikes to put under your shoes so you don't slip when it's very slippery. And
they actually seem really useful. Truly. For some reason, they're not popular in America, though. I guess because we just wouldn't really need them very often.
I see outside. And you know right away when someone has one of these on their shoes because they make noise, like the noise of the metal in the ice, so it's quite like noticeable that you have, but also really safe. And there were times here where I actually like wish I had some on in my shoes because sometimes in winter here it's like it's a ice skating ring from work home. It's crazy.
Yeah, I could see this being very useful.
Another thing I consider to be very Norwegian because I have never like the need to use that before, and here they use it quite a lot in winter when it's dark outside because like in Norway in winter there's a lot of darkness. So people use reflectors. When I say reflectors, I'm not like talking about if you're on a bike you use like bike reflectors. I'm talking about people going on the street using actual reflectors, so things that you can I think I have some, so I'll just get them. I don't have the most common ones, unfortunately, but I have these 2 types. So this one is like, so you can put it on your arm, like this. Or for example, Daniel uses it in the legs, like when he's cycling. And then you have this type where you can put like a string here and hang it on your jacket or on your like backpack or something.
Yeah, well, reflectors certainly exist in the United States, just for walkers and bicyclers. But they never really look like this where you can put them on your arm or anything. That's kind of cool. So they're not very common in America, I would say.
Something like that. And the most common type, they're like long and a bit stiff, and then you do like, and they stay curled up around your arm or something like that. So people use these things when it starts to get dark outside quite early, and they just use
Okay.
it to walk on the streets to be more safe so cars can.
That's another thing, because in certain parts of Norway, it can be very dark, very early, if I understand correctly. So there is a need for this. So that explains some of these Norwegian items, based on Norway's climate and sunlight. A lot of this stuff makes much more sense to have.
Can see if they're coming. There is also another version of these where it's actually just like a tiny little light with a battery inside that blinks. It actually gives light, and you can also hang it on your jacket or backpack. Sometimes people even put them on their dog leashes so the cars can see the dog as well. Yeah, so reflectors. Welcome to Norway and to dark winters.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing is
Yeah. I might have been confused if I had seen this on people. I'd be like, what is this all about? But when you're in Norway, it probably makes so much sense because it's very practical.
also related with like winter and snowy environments, and that is called a sparksnø. This is kind of a sledge, I would say.
Wow. Yeah, I've never seen this before. It is like an old school sort of sled, but you can stand up and push it, grab it, and ride it by standing up. That's kind of cool. Huh, why don't we have this? Why have I never seen this? This makes sense. This would be fun.
Yeah, it's a sledge, but it's a chair as well. So it's a chair.
It's a chair. It's a chair. Wow. Okay.
Which is also a sledge. You basically sit there and someone push you, I guess, while you're sitting, and you sledge. Kind of like a wheelchair, but instead of wheels, it has two sledges.
I like this. I like this. This seems fun. Why is this not a thing in America? I feel like Americans would enjoy this thing.
I have never saw one of these like in real life. Here in Oslo, there is not, like, people don't really use it, but I've heard that in the north, a lot of people use this.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this is true or not.
Okay.
Another thing, a little bit in the same group, it's called akkebrett. It's basically a sledge for kids. And
Okay.
here you see, even in the city, even in Oslo, you see a lot of parents during winter when it's snow outside taking their kids to the like kids school, like barnehage.
Yeah. I mean, we have some sleds and kid sleds in the United States, but these seem a little better, like a little more thought out. Just like a little better.
In one of these. So it's basically a small kids sledge where they can sit, and then it has a string or like a rope, and parents pull the rope while they go, and the kids just go like on the sledge instead of walking.
Fun.
It's really cute, and I always wanted to have one of these for like adults, so Daniel can, you know, go with me in the city and I'll just sit there. And there is also a version of this for skis, so that you can pull your kids while you're doing ski. It has
Oh my gosh. That's advanced. Too advanced for me. A sled to pull your kid in while you're skiing? That's very, very Norwegian. Yeah.
kind of like a net when it's for skis, so you are a little bit more protected, but you definitely see a lot of those in the forest when people are skiing here. Another thing also inside of the same theme is a baby vognsykkel, and this is basically, it's like you have a box with seats inside attached to the front part of the bicycle.
Okay. Yes, this is somewhat common in America, mostly in towns or cities, where you might see people riding around on a bike pulling their kid, but they're uncommon enough that I would turn my head and look and be like, huh, oh yeah, one of those things, right.
Sometimes it's even part of the wheel, and other times you can like put it and take it off depending on what you like need. It also looks really cool, and I would also like to have one of these for me, like for me to sit in the box and Daniel go in the bike. It would be great. Next thing I'm going to talk about, it's an instrument you use to pick blueberries without using your hands. It's called a blåbærplukker, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh? Is this something Norwegians do? Like commonly? That you would need a device to do it? I've never picked a blueberry in my life, let alone needed a whole instrument to help me. But it is cool. Don't get me wrong, it is cool.
And they are normally red, like a red box with a thing to like hold. And then in front, the box is open, but it has this like teeth thing. And you just like do like this in the blueberry bushes, and you don't have to like use your hands, because normally if you use your hands...
Is this common? Are a lot of Norwegians doing this? That y'all need the little scooper thing?
Your hands just get completely purple or blue because of the blueberries. So this is definitely something I have never seen before. And so many people use it here in summer, like in the blueberry time, which is I think July and August, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is this like a Norwegian thing? Like blueberry season? And everyone gets out their scooper to get them?
So it's really handy. You get so many more blueberries in the box itself. So, and that's it. Those are all the objects that for me represent Norway that I could think of, at least.
Okay.
If you have more suggestions, more ideas of like other objects, please write it down in the comments below. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a massive thumbs up. And if you are not a subscriber yet, please subscribe, because there are...
Okay. That was good. That was good. That was by Mon Ami. I liked that. Truly, I did. This surprised me. There was a lot more stuff than I thought that was unique to Norway. I didn't think there could possibly be that much stuff there, but there was some stuff. What did the comments say? The wooden cup is exactly what you need when you trek through the wilderness. And then you cross a small brook with water down the rocks, difficult to bow down, but easy to get if you have one of these cups. Huh. Okay. It's just like a useful little tool, cup, to have on hand. Possibly when camping or something. I am Norwegian, and I approve of these objects. Haha, good. The cheese slicer was invented in Norway? Is that true? That's pretty amazing, if that's true. The cheese slicer tool? Wow. These are definitely all common to all Scandinavians. Okay. Good to know. Any drink, but very handy when hiking and you need to drink from a creek. Hung on the belt or backpack. Okay. It has a special significance in our culture. Okay. So the cup is a pretty important little tool that is pretty common, apparently. A lot of people know what it's for. Huh. Fascinating. Mostly for coffee or hot chocolate. Okay. Okay. This was very interesting. I actually really enjoyed this. It did teach me a little bit about Norwegian culture, actually, which I hoped. And some of this stuff, some of these objects should be in the United States. I'm serious. Some of these were cool. The sled, even the waffle maker, the cup, the cheese slicer. There's a lot of stuff here I actually liked. Very cool. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, if you enjoyed this reaction, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more reactions, I actually am doing reaction videos with my twin brother, who also does YouTube. We're doing videos together, reacting. So if you'd enjoy more reaction videos, go ahead and check out the videos we're doing. I'll put it all around me here. It'll be floating, like probably here, a link to the video. If you want more entertainment, feel free to check that out. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.